Alright, what is up? This is Slow Plays, and I'm here today for the Bleach Rebirth of Souls What You Need to Know video. We're going to be going over a lot in this video to kind of catch y'all up to speed on this game, what you need to know about the characters, okay, the roster, as well as online, the different modes that they have to offer, story mode content, and even the DLC content. I'll speculate a little bit of what I think we might see for DLC as well. There's a lot that we're going to be discussing in this video. Also, release. Okay, everybody wants to know what time can we play this game. It's actually going to be releasing officially tomorrow for everyone, and there's going to be a bit of a early release today. It's going to be out today for pretty much most people, at least for those of you that watch my content live in the US or North America. So you should be able to be playing the game a few hours before midnight, right? So let's go over this, but first and foremost, I want to say this. If you have not purchased the game yet, yes, a little bit of a promo sponsor, Games Planet. Okay, I am partnered with them. You can actually get up to 16% off on every single edition, just depending on which one you want. Use my promo code SLOWPLAYSBLEACH to get this discount. For those of you, this is on Steam. Okay, this doesn't release, like I said, until tomorrow, but on Steam, it actually releases before every other console, all right, which I'll go over in a bit here. It's actually going to be releasing, I think, around 4 p.m. CST, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely click my links down below in the description. So once you click my link, go get the game, whichever version you want, and then use my promo code in the little, voucher code thing, and you can actually get this discount. It's a pretty good deal, I'm not going to lie. A game that just launched, right? At least for those of you that play on Steam. Okay, it's coming out today, it's fresh, and you're already getting a discount. So pretty nice, right? So here are the release times. Okay, my head might be covering some of the release times. I'll link it down below if you need to know, specific, areas or regions that you live in. But like I said, most y'all, I would assume, live in North America or at least the United States. So I'll go over the three main time zones. For Pacific time, we have March 20th at 9 p.m. PST. That's on console. All right, so that's 3 hours before midnight today. Okay, it's going to be launching on console. Now on PC, it launches even earlier than that. For those of you that are on Steam, 3 p.m. That's a whole 6 hours earlier than console. That is crazy. So you're going to be able to play this game literally, I mean, by the time this is uploaded, in maybe around 10 hours or less, right? So this game's going to be out for everyone at that time. CST time, that's my time zone. Console will be March 20th at 10 p.m. CST. And on PC, it'll be March 20th at 4 p.m. CST. Okay? So again, really, really good deal. I cannot wait to get my hands on this and just try this game out and just try to understand the mechanics and everything. And then Eastern time will be March 21st. Midnight local time, so for you guys it's a little bit later. It's right at midnight for EST. But on PC, you'll get it at 6 p.m. EST. Now, I actually think that the time zones got messed up on here because CST is supposed to be 2 hours ahead of Pacific, so I think they might have fucked up. I could be wrong about that, but that doesn't really make much sense for it to have for 6. Okay, EST is usually 1 hour ahead of CST, and then CST is 2 hours ahead of PST. So I think I think they fucked up. All right, I don't want to. I'm gonna say 5 p.m. Okay, 5 p.m. for PC, and then 11 p.m. for console. That makes more sense. All right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'd rather get the latest time out there. You can check at 10 p.m. for console and 4 p.m., but if it's not up, then guaranteed it's going to be 11 p.m. CST and 5 p.m. I was looking at that, I was like, that doesn't make any sense because I usually follow these time zones a lot whenever they're doing releases for things, and as far as I know, that's usually how it should be, okay? Now, I guess I'll go ahead and at least go over European time because I think that's at least number 2 on my audience range. So for those of you that live in Europe or the UK and stuff, it's going to be March 21st, midnight local time, 11 p.m. on March 20th. Okay, so it's going to be pretty much around, the same time for CET and Eastern time. But for PC, it's going to be launching very, very late for y'all. I don't know why, but I guess that is, it is what it is. But whatever. Other than that, I mean, like I said, I'll link this down below if you need to see. I'll kind of move around. I think my head might be covering NZDT. That's the first time I ever heard of that fucking time zone. What the hell? This is New Zealand, but I didn't even know New Zealand had a different time zone from Australia. Whatever. But JST if you need that. There's Korean time. Yeah, that's what you need to know. Okay, lots of different time zones depending on where you live. You can do your conversions and shit, right? So what you need to know about this game. Let's go over story stuff. Okay, for those of you that are not caught up on the game in the story mode, I got a lot of questions asking on some of my videos and even on Twitter, asking how big is the story mode? Where does it start and where does it end? It starts right at the introduction of Ichigo, okay? When you see him, you know, he gets his powers from Rukia for the first time. It progresses through where, what is it? You know, you see Uryu and stuff. You meet Uryu, you meet the gang, Orihime, who unfortunately is not playable, which you guys probably already have seen. Chad is playable. Okay, so you have all of them, right? The whole gang. And you have where Byakuya and Renji take Rukia to the Soul Society to execute her. Ichigo goes there, blah, blah, blah. They fight. You know, you're going to see that epic battle versus Byakuya versus, what's it called? Ichigo. Then you see betrayal of Aizen and, you know, Ichimaru, as well as Tosen and everything. Like, there's a lot of story in this. It's going to be one of the longest story modes. I've heard it's going to be... This is just from the people that already have the game, because people have the game early, who've already beat it and played it. They said around up to 50 plus hours of content with it, okay? That's probably with cutscenes, with, you know, actual, like, dialogue and shit. If you sit through and you read everything, yeah, I could see it getting up to around that much time. And it's going to be ending at the Arrancar arc, okay? The very end of the Arrancar arc, spoilers if you've never seen it. I mean, there are characters that are spoiling it. Final Getsuga Tensho, Ichigo defeats Aizen. Aizen gets sealed away. That's the end. No Fullbringer arc and nothing on Thousand Year Blood War, okay? Which is the current arc that we're at right now that hasn't even completed yet, right? So you can play through the thematic battles that bring you back to your favorite Bleach moments. I think that's a really good, solid story. I would say that, you know, up to the end of the Arrancar arc is the main core story of Bleach. Everything after that is, you know, just more, you know, extra epic stuff. And I know Thousand Year Blood War is probably, that's what resurrected Bleach, okay? Rebirth of Souls, like, that's the shit, right? But I don't know. We'll go over all that from an interview later on here so that you guys can get an understanding of if we might see that or not. Again, this is the first game, okay? This is the very first game for Bleach Rebirth of Souls. I saw some people saying, well, what about Soul Resurrection from fucking 15 years ago? Like, dog, why are you bringing up Soul Resurrection? That has nothing to do with this game. People are thinking that, like, oh, well, we already had Bleach games in the past, so we should be getting all this stuff from those games in this game, right? No, this is a brand new, fresh game. I don't even think Soul Resurrection was by the same developers. This game is by Tamsoft, right? Who does a really, really good job of, you know, creating a good fighting game, right? You'll also find original side stories in the secret story feature, which gives you a unique perspective on events of the main story from the point of view of every character. Now, that's really cool. That's how you know that there's so much story in this, okay? And this might actually be the 50 plus hours. It might be secret story as well as the main story. I could be wrong about that. That might be even more extra shit, right? You also have a peek into the daily life of characters during side episodes you can unlock based on your choices during the main story. So, kind of similar to Sparking Zero, where you have, like, the what-if stories. This isn't what-if stuff, but these are just different perspectives of other characters. So, it's like, oh, I want to see what's going on with Renji's side. I think we saw a little bit of that in some, like, previews and stuff, you know, in some, like, the demo footage where it's like, oh, okay, this is Renji's perspective. Maybe you see Renji and, Byakuya's perspective before they, you know, take Rukia for the execution or whatever the fuck it is, right? So there are a lot of characters, okay? Over 30 characters. Confirmed at launch, there are 33 characters. Now, there is one character, which is right here, Ichigo Kurosaki, the final Getsuga Tensho. This character, okay, there are 32 characters. All the characters at launch are already in the game. You're going to boot up the game, you're going to have everyone. But one, okay? One of them you do have to unlock. From what I've heard, and I could be wrong about this, from what I've heard, you unlock Final Getsuga Tensho Ichigo by, I think, just completing the main story mode, okay? I could be wrong. There might be some other, like, you know, specifics on it, on what you need to do. But as far as I know, you unlock him by basically just beating the story. We'll see what happens whenever I actually play through the story, because I haven't even fucking played the game yet, right? That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. I don't actually know if that's the case, right? So, I mean, if that's a spoiler, I think that's obvious that you would unlock him that way. But if there's a different way or a different method of unlocking him, I'll definitely make a video covering that so that you guys know what to do on that shit, right? Other than that, that is kind of the main like basis of what you need to know about just the overall game. Technical information. Okay, so let's go over this. Languages, platforms, crossplay requirements. I will tell you right now, there is no crossplay. Okay. They say it right here. Crossplay for different platforms is not available. Players on PlayStation 4 and 5 can play together. I would imagine Xbox can play together. This is on a last gen as well. Okay, so, at least there's that for those of you that don't have, next or current gen Xbox Series and PS5 and stuff. So there is local multiplayer. So that's good, right? At launch, right? Sparking Zero did have it, but we had to, like, kind of persuade them to get a local multiplayer, right? And then there's just player versus player, PvP online, right? You can do that. Same thing as Sparking Zero. Now, there is no ranked mode. I'll go over that in a little bit later here, okay? There is no ranked mode right now as far as I know, okay? There could be a patch. I don't exactly know what's going down with it, right? You can play Bleach Rebirth of Souls with English or Japanese voiceover, so that's good. A lot of games these days are finally getting an English dub. There are a lot, like, for example, Pirate Warriors 4 for One Piece does not have English dub, right? But most Dragon Ball games, I would say, if not all the Dragon Ball games, the big major ones, all have an English dub, right? What is it? Demon Slayer, Hinokami Chronicles did get an English dub. So more recently, they're finally doing, English dub for it. So that's really, really good. And you can also have your subtitles for pretty much any language. Okay? You have a whole variety. Thai, Portuguese, Russian, fuck yeah. Like everything's there, right? So here are the specs, PC requirements and everything. It doesn't look like it's super, super demanding, but you do need a decent PC for, that you need at least 75 gigs. You need at least 16 gigs of RAM. For recommended or whatever, they recommend something more of a better processor and a bit more of a better graphics card, obviously. This might actually be a little bit more demanding than I think. I like my PC's pretty strong. It's nothing crazy, but like it meets these requirements. If you're gonna get the game on PC, definitely I would go for the recommended shit, right? If you don't have this kind, you could probably still play it, but you're gonna have to fuck with the settings. And that's a good thing about PC is you can lower the settings, so you might have to be playing with pixels. But hey, if that's the experience you want, that's what you're gonna get, right? So you can pre-order this now. Like I said, you can, if you want to, you could use my Steam Games Planet. Again, that Steam's getting it earlier than everyone else. The pre-order bonus comes with 1,000-Year Blood War costume set. It looks like it's going to be the ones for Captain Hitsugaya as well as Yoruichi. These are clean as fuck. I love Yoruichi's outfit. It's just mainly like that nice like little cape that she's wearing. Any characters with a cape look sick as fuck. Right? That's why you got the drip. Aura farming Piccolo out here. Now let's talk about the special editions. Okay, this is major, right? The Ultimate Edition is really important because obviously it comes with all these like cool costumes and these fucking soul crystals or whatever, but it's the season pass. That is the main thing that we need to talk about. Okay, we're gonna get into that a little bit later here, but you will get 7 days early access for the 4 characters. Okay, now I believe they did state that the characters, I think they're mainly going to be from the 1,000-Year Blood War. There could be some extras. I can't remember if they specified, but the season pass also, with the character releases, I think they said it's going to be 1 by 1. So it's not going to be, boom, at launch or whenever they decide to release this, you're going to get all 4 characters. It's not like Sparking Zero, for example, where it's like a pack, or Xenoverse 2, where it's like a full DLC pack. They're going to be releasing individual characters. And like I said, we'll get into why probably they're doing this. Okay, so again, here are the 33 characters that you can play as. A lot of people had some issues and criticism with this roster. I've seen people say that this is a very small roster, okay? Guys, you got to understand, this is the first of potential, I'm not confirming this, first of a series, okay? Hinokami Chronicles, for example, I think only had at launch I think it's like 20 characters, maybe less, okay, without any DLC. So you think about that, that's a really small-ass fucking roster, but it's the first game, right? And this could potentially be the first game. I think this is a very solid roster for a game that has lots of variety when it comes to the characters. Every single character here plays different, okay? For example, Sosuke Aizen, he's got like 4 fucking forms that he can, go through. Ichigo, okay, this version of him, I think it's the Bankai one or whatever. he's got the ability I think after he like dies or whatever, he like resurrects and turns into what's it called? The I call it the Vasta Lorde one. The one where he's got like he's like full hollow transformation with the horns and shit, and like the lines going down on his mask or whatever, like the two black lines. I think that's like an ability for him. You have the final Getsuga Tensho version, which after he gets his final Getsuga Tensho and he transforms with like the black hair and shit, he basically just fucking kills you in one hit. Like he just one-shots you, like it's over, like you're fucked, right? So, however, in exchange for his powers, he loses all his Shinigami powers, therefore known as the final Getsuga Tensho. Like he whoops your ass, right? It's crazy. One character that I saw that was really cool and unique, where is he? Shunsui. Where the fuck is he, bro? Okay. He's got this special, like, game feature where I think after he uses his bankai, it, like, I don't know, it has, like, a little, like, it looks like a slot machine type of thing where it, like, rotates. And he's got special games. Okay, that's what his bankai was in the anime or whatever when he was fighting Stark. So, yeah, he's got, like, a cool game feature or whatever. I still don't exactly know how that works. I would have to see some more gameplay on it. But that's sick as fuck, right? Stark has, like, the guns, okay, so he launches Setos, and he also has, like, the blade thing that he has, right? So that's sick. And he's got, like, his little coyotes after he uses his Resurrection. Other than that, I mean, every character plays fucking unique. Like, Soifone, she's fast as fuck. Yoriuichi, she's fast as fuck, right? like, they got it all, right? These are all cool characters. Obviously, Uryu, he uses his Quincy bow and shit, so that's cool. Yeah, these characters are all sick as fuck. Like, that's all I gotta say about it. Like, you will have fun with each character, and, you know, if you find a character that you like, you definitely want to learn, like, take a lot of time to learn them, right? Like, like, for example, like, Sparking Zero, they do play differently to a certain extent, but for the most part, every single character, you know, you can pick up any character pretty easily, right? You just have to know, okay, what are their skills and how do they function? But for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. It's not as complex. These are very complex characters, right? Tamsoft did not fuck around with them. So people that are saying, oh, this is a small roster and everything, it's like, you guys got to get away from the Sparking Zero and like Dragon Ball video game rosters, because those are just huge, right? They don't go into super amounts of detail with it, okay? And this is coming from a Dragon Ball fan, from somebody that loves Sparking Zero, and I still love Sparking Zero, right? I'm not trying to downplay the effort that went into the characters, but this game it's night and day between these games when it comes to the characters. Yes, it has a smaller roster, but each character is much more detailed, right? So, let me talk about online real quick before we get into DLC and, you know, information on that, okay? So we did get to see our first look at the online matchmaking room, right? It's pretty straightforward, right? You just have two players, you wait for the player, next match, boom, boom, boom. You get your battle settings that you need to go for. Very clean online, you know, overlay. I like the Bleach Rebirth of Souls, like UI and like everything is very clean. All right, I think they did a good job on that. You compare it to like Curse Clash, which like that looks so bad. I'm sorry. They improved it, but Curse Clash was like, yikes, bro. We had the DVD title screen, right? The select screen. But yeah, there was no ranked. I am not saying that there won't ever be a ranked mode, okay? And there could be a ranked mode at launch for the patch. Okay, we'll go over. There is a patch. But yeah, as far as I know, there's also no spectator like thing. It's just you and the next player, right? That you're going to be fighting, and that's it. So, like I said, it's very simple, very straightforward. As somebody that does not give a fuck about online or crossplay, I mean, I care about it for you guys that care about it because I want the game to do very well, right? I personally don't. Like, this isn't going to ruin the game for me or anything, but I already saw people like saying, oh, it's over. This game's already dead because it doesn't have a ranked mode. It doesn't have crossplay. Fuck, this game is dead, Bandai Namco. I will say, when it comes to Bandai Namco's anime games, like, what the fuck are they doing? They don't want to do crossplay. How is it that Dragon Ball The Breakers, a game that not many people really give a fuck about, has crossplay, but not these games, bro? Like, what are you doing? These are the big, heavy hitter, popular games. Why are you not taking the time? Take the time to implement a crossplay. I will wait for it, right? Again, me personally, I say I will wait for it. Me personally, I don't really care. Would it be nice? Yes, okay? I'm buying this game for me personally. I'm buying this game. I'll probably play with my brother and a couple of friends that come over, like, locally, right? I like that shit. That's how I did it with Sparking Zero. And I'm playing the shit out of the story mode, okay? I'm gonna fuck that story mode hard. So, when it comes to this, that's the situation on that. But shout out to my boy Nechikage here. He's somebody that has the game right now. He already beat it. He's already played through it. You got to watch out for this man. He's going to whoop your ass on ranked, right? Oh, wait, there is no ranked mode. Watch out for him, though. So he says, holy shit, day one patch for Bleach Rebirth of Souls is 10 gigs, okay? That's pretty big, right? I think the game was, I think it's like 30 gigs or something without the patch, if I'm not mistaken. So he says, now I have some theories because I did notice some things missing, but let's see. This looks good. I'm excited for it. So there are things that he knows should be coming, right? But nobody knows if there's going to be ranked or any of that on the day one patch. Now, ranked mode is vital for a game like this. Okay, I'm gonna just say it right now, right? Like I said, for me personally, I don't really care about it because I don't play online. But for a game that is actually focused on fighting, Sparking Zero was not a fighting game. Like I'm talking about like a more competitive fighting game. Okay, Sparking Zero. That's the thing that people don't understand, right? Yes, there is a ranked mode, and yes, there is online and stuff, and they just put that in there so that people can play with other people online. That's the main thing, right? Most games, if it is still a casual, I don't want to say casual, but like I see it as a casual fighting game. It's like a party game almost. You compare it to like Smash Bros, right? Sparking Zero was meant to be, I don't want to say 40th anniversary, but it was, I would say it is, okay? It was like an anniversary game, a special game for the fans that brought back the Tenkaichi series that all the fans love. That is the most beloved series out of any Dragon Ball game, okay? When it comes to like OG shit, right? So they wanted to implement a shit ton of characters, have animations and gameplay that reflects stuff that's based on the anime really well, and they nailed that. I think they did a really good job on that, okay? Yes, it's not a perfect game. There are issues with the game, right? But people, they made it, the community made, it was too toxic, okay? The toxicity of the community and the fact that they're focusing too much on online and patches and fix this, fix that, that's what I feel like really ruined the game, okay? That's my opinion. You can shit on me for whatever. I don't even care at this point, okay? But this game is different, okay? Rebirth of Souls is definitely a more complex fighting game, okay? You see it from the gameplay. I saw some people saying, wow, the gameplay looks very slow. The attacks look boring. This game looks boring. It's like, I don't want to say Tekken is, but have you played Tekken or Soul Calibur or whatever? It's more like a game like that, right? Yes, it is, there is movement and sidestepping and stuff, but it's more of like just like a 3D fighter, not an arena fighter like Naruto Storm or Hinokami Chronicles or Sparking Zero, right? Like, that's the problem. I think there are a lot of fans that want to jump on this game. They're interested in this game that are fans of those other games that are arena fighters, and they're not seeing that there's an obvious difference between the gameplay that they were going for. Okay, Tamsoft was definitely going for something more akin to, like, for example, like Soul Calibur or like Tekken, where it's more competitive. It's, I don't want to say stiff or anything, but it's, the movement on it, it's not the same as like what you're gonna get in like Hinokami Chronicles or Naruto Storm, where it's like, oh, you're running around and shit, right? Like this one, there isn't any of that, right? It's just more of like, okay, you have to be very smart. There's no, oh, I'm not gonna fucking spam out this shit and run around and jump over you and all this shit. There's a lot of blocking that, and parrying that you need to do. It's more defense. There's defensive options for the most part, and then obviously your offensive options are a lot more complex, right? So if they don't have a ranked mode, I think that might hurt the game, because ranked offers like an incentive to play the game. It really does, right? You can still play with buddies and go on it, but like, you want a ranking system. Why would you want to grind out, online PvP against people and go through the trouble of that if you're not getting anything from it? Okay, because obviously it's a competition, right? It's like people that enter the fucking Olympics. Like, why are they doing all this work? If you're not going to get any, that's what it would be. It's like you enter the Olympics and you win and nothing happens. You get nothing from it, right? No, Olympics, you gold medalist. You get the glory of it, right? You get people loving you and shit, right? So that's what it is. So yeah, if there's no ranked mode on this, yikes, right? The crossplay thing isn't as severe. It is very important, okay, for these fighting games and stuff, but I mean, what can we do? What can we do? All right, let's talk about DLC and characters that didn't make the cut. All right, I know this video is very long. Like I said, I wanted to break down everything that you need to know about this. It's big. It's lots of shit. Okay, for those of you to catch up to speed. So, this is an interview from Suzuki-san, who is, I believe, the producer of this game. So he said, still, with already a huge roster, there are many iconic characters that fans may have wanted to see brought in. Unfortunately, 2 of the series' fan favorites were left off. I would say not 2. There's definitely more than that. 13th Division Captain Jushiro Ukitake and Ichigo's close friend and healer Orihime Inoue. Orihime, yes, did not make the cut. And Ukitake did not make the cut either. Because apparently, I think it's because of the way that the way that the game plays with the reversal and shit. Yeah, I'll just read what it says, okay? When asked about the characters left out of the roster, Suzuki-san explained that, I believe we have covered most of the iconic characters in the game, which I agree with. There's definitely some that are left out, right? However, Ukitake and Orihime are also popular characters, but their abilities remain hidden until the 1,000-Year Blood War. That is true, right? We did get to see Ukitake use his Shikai for the first time at the very, very end of the Aranka arc. Whenever he's battling, I think he was teamed up with Shunsui, fighting Stark, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was fighting the little girl. I forgot her name. Did she even have a name? I don't remember. Stark had a little girl like with him that was like his partner or whatever. So, you did get to see that, but obviously in the 1,000-Year Blood War, there's a lot more that you get to see, especially from Orihime. Orihime has a much bigger part in 1,000-Year Blood War, right? Other than her just, basic healing stuff that she would normally have in her, like, defensive shit, right? So additionally, when considering the concept of battle and reversal, it was a bit difficult to implement their fighting styles into the game. So I can understand that. The way this game plays, it just doesn't... I just wouldn't say it would support characters like these. That doesn't mean that we won't get them in the future, though, because 1,000-Year Blood War is going to be DLC, I think, for the most part. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the case. I'm just speculating. It could be, right? They could add Ukitake, Orihime, and even Captain Unohana. Okay, Captain Unohana has a very major role at the beginning of 1,000-Year Blood War. No spoilers, but big shit, important stuff with her. She's got a lot more than just what you see in the early anime. She actually doesn't really. She was more support and healing in the anime more than anything. But you see some shit, right? There is definitely some shit that could be implemented because of no spoilers, okay? But you guys know. If you know, you know, right? At the beginning of 1,000-Year Blood War. So, when it comes to the future of Bleach Rebirth of Souls, it has been confirmed that the Fighter Pass will be available. In it, 4 characters from the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, which wraps its third core late last year, will join the battle, okay? So yeah, 1,000-Year Blood War, I think the full arc I think it's almost over, right? So those characters would be released one after another and would work with those who are keeping up with the anime. We developed the characters using information in the anime production team, so we're confident fans will enjoy them. So they're definitely going to be very good, very different from other characters. They're not going to be the same shit, right? Suzuki-san said about ongoing development of more characters. While we can't share specific dates yet, we're working hard to ensure the DLC releases without a long wait. Because these characters are a lot more complex and everything, I think this is just how I've seen it. If you want an estimate of a release, no confirmation. This is just a general estimate. It could be the 3 to 4 months after the game's release. So we might see the first line of DLC characters. Could be probably around maybe like July or August. Okay, again, no confirmation, but that's just generally how they do it with a lot of these games. With a fighting game, it's like usually a few months after the game's release, okay? So we could see something like that. Here we go. Finally, despite the DLC Fighter Pass, many fans have been hoping to see Fullbringer arc or even the 1,000-Year Blood War arc brought to life in game. Talking about story, right? I would assume that's what that means. Okay, despite nothing being in active development, the producer did say if fans do want more, it isn't totally off the table. Okay, so that is good to hear, right? If you guys can just give your feedback, right? Unless, I don't know if they're going to do surveys or whatever, but after you play the game, if you think the game's interesting, you like it a lot, and you want to see more, right? We could potentially see maybe, DLC story or characters from the Fullbringer arc, okay? I know the Fullbringer arc isn't a major fan favorite for a lot of fans. of Bleach. I personally loved it. I thought it was very good, but there are a lot of really cool fucking characters. Okay, Fullbringer characters, they got a lot of unique abilities. Fucking Dirty Boots, that shit was crazy, bro. Who else was there? I forget the names of some of these characters that were in it. You had the kid with like the video game power. You had what is her name? Riruka? I think her name. That's her name. The girl with the red hair and the pony, not the pigtail or twin tails. Yeah, twin tails. She had like her fucking like heart gun thing or whatever it was. You had the dude, the old guy with the mustache that had, I think he like had like a time ability or something, and he turned into the fucking Hulk or some shit. It was like some crazy shit. And you got the, what is his name? Tsukishimi. I cannot remember the names of these guys. I have to go back and see that shit. It's been so long since I've seen Fullbringer arc. The dude with the bookmark that like he like turned everyone against Ichigo or whatever. He got some crazy powers. Didn't his bookmark turn into a fucking sword as well? Like, that shit's crazy, bro. Like, Fullbringer arc was cool. I don't care what anyone says. And then, of course, the main villain of the Fullbringer arc. Really, really crazy shit, right? Yeah, man. Oh, I really hope we get Fullbringer arc stuff, okay? Like I said, some people don't care, but that's more characters, and they're all very unique. They all have, like, really, really cool powers and shit. So, that would be sick. That would be sick. We definitely need him. We need him. Yeah, that's going to be the main gist of it for that. Like I said, Ultimate Edition is a very good deal for the 7-day early access, but I'm just saying it right now. Only get this shit if you're interested in 1000-Year Blood War characters and you think the game looks good. If you don't think, if you're on the fence, if you're even on the fence about this game, even in the slightest, just get the normal version, okay? Because you remember how Sparking Zero went. I personally am very excited for Sparking Zero. I'm going to play all the DLC. I care about all the DLC, and that's fine, right? But for those of you that are all salty about it and say, oh, I wasted $100 fucking on this game, blah, 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 blah. It's like, you knew what you were getting, okay? You knew what you were going to get, right? They already confirmed this before the game released. They said, okay, it's going to be Superhero and then Daima and Daima, right? So for those of you that, you know, had that bad experience, right? And you're interested in this game, but you're on the fence about it, do not get the Ultimate Edition. Do not get the Deluxe Edition. Just get the base game version. I think it's only $50, if I'm not mistaken. It's pretty cheap compared to, you know, most games these days. Most games are $70 at base. So yeah, that's just my recommendation, right? That's what you need to know. This video was long as fuck, but thanks for watching. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe here on the channel, ring my notification bell. I'll probably be doing some more Bleach Rebirth of Souls videos, just depending on what I'm interested in. For the most part, I think I'm just going to kind of chill and just really, really enjoy this game to the fullest. I've waited 10 plus years, over a decade, for a Bleach game. I am a huge-ass Bleach fan. I love Bleach to death. Second favorite series of all time for me. I am going to fuck the shit out of this game.
This is Broly, and you are watching Slow Plays. Make sure to subscribe, or else I'll destroy your entire planet.